From fires to floods, from tragedy to celebration, 2024 delivered it all.
Here's a look back at the year that was on the South Plains.
2024 begins with Lubbock Power and Light customers shopping for a new electric provider, one that they'll begin to pay in the spring for power as the hub city makes the big switch from one municipally owned power provider to deregulation. Lubbock County breaks ground on a new medical examiner's office and a new chapter for a long-troubled essential service. In February, the battle over securing the border intensifies between Texas and the federal government amid lawsuits as well as land and enforcement disputes, much of it centered over Shelby Park and Eagle Pass. KCBD was there to see what was happening firsthand. As the winds rage across the panhandle, what would become the largest wildfire in state history sparks. The Smokehouse Creek fire burns more than 1 million acres. 2 deaths are blamed on it. XL Energy would admit its infrastructure was a cause and promises a new tactic of AI technology to detect wildfires early. The Lubbock City Council approves a zoning change for a solid waste transfer station in West Lubbock, prompting concerns about its impact to the area. The responsibility and cost of repairing certain sewer lines sparks ordinance outrage in Lubbock and an eventual change to that ordinance. In March, the Lubbock Police Department opens its new headquarters, and Lubbock Fire Rescue Chief Sean Fogerson announces his retirement. Primary elections unseated incumbent Lubbock County Commissioner Terrence Kovar in Precinct 1, with Mike Dalby winning the Republican race. Caleb Vasquez admits to shooting and killing Roel Munoz at a West Lubbock Walmart back in 2020. He was sentenced to life in prison. Jeremy Atchison is found guilty of murdering his mother Jill in 2019 in Levelland, and everyone looked to the sky safely for a total solar eclipse rarely seen in North America. Lubbock's Clap Pool will not reopen due to several maintenance issues, the last remaining pool since others were replaced with splash pads. And a beloved radio DJ, Amy O, is killed in a crash in San Antonio. In May, Lubbock police say that they solved the 1976 murder of Elizabeth Price at the old Lubbock airport, but won't release the name of the then juvenile. David Glasheen, Braden Rose, and Tim Collins join the Lubbock City Council, and voters reject the Freedom Act ordinance to decriminalize possession of small amounts of marijuana. Mark McBrayer would defeat Steve Massengale in a mayoral runoff, along with Gordon Harris, who defeated Anna Manjarres in District 2. A murder charge against Ricky Don Henderson is dismissed ahead of the trial for the 1993 death of his wife, Stephanie Meeks, in Hockley County. Seth Herman is named the new chief of police in Lubbock, and beloved Lubbock entertainer and advocate for music Don Caldwell dies after battling cancer. A massive storm rages through Levelland, bringing powerful wind, hail, and flood damage. In June, a man and a teen drown in Dunbar Lake. The first woman elected to the Lubbock City Council, Carolyn Jordan, dies, and KCBD holds its first HealthWise Expo. Nautica Hamilton, a former Lubbock daycare employee, is accused of creating child pornography, later admitting to taking explicit images. Allegations of child sexual assault are revealed for a former student church pastor, Luke Cunningham. 2 crop dusters collide near Whiteface, killing one pilot and injuring the other. The beginning of much hardship as fires break out in the mountains surrounding Ruidoso. Thousands of acres and structures are destroyed, prompting evacuations and eventually flooding. The community of Matador marks a year of rebuilding after a devastating tornado. In July, Texas Tech and Adidas ink a deal with the help of Patrick Mahomes. Lubbock's first safe haven baby box is opened, and just days later, a baby is reported abandoned in a Lubbock dumpster with a search for the mother ongoing. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake shakes the Snyder area. Councilman David Glasheen leads an effort to strip the Louise Hopkins Underwood Center for the Arts $25,000 in hotel occupancy tax funds for the First Friday Art Trail, accusing it of using the funds for inappropriate programming. It would eventually restore at least $5,000 for security. The world turns its attention to Paris for the Summer Olympics, including some South Plains athletes. In August, Friendship opens a new school in the new year and decides Friendship Memorial will be the name of its second high school. The new Lubbock Health Department opens to serve the entire county. And the new South End Zone opens at Jones AT&T Stadium as Texas Tech football kicks off a new season. In September, another 5.1 earthquake shakes the South Plains, this one near the community of Patricia. Texas Tech dismisses rodeo coach Jared Hofstetter amid allegations of financial mismanagement and disregard for animal welfare and policy compliance. A standoff at a Days Inn motel is watched closely by our cameras and revealed a unique use of Lubbock County SWAT tools, arresting Felix De La Rosa for violating his parole. Battles over budgets heat up, including tactics by some Lubbock County commissioners to refuse to provide a quorum over property tax rates. Omar Soto Shavira is accused of killing Commander Joshua Bartlett in 2021. He's ordered to undergo mental health observation, delaying the start of his capital murder trial. UMC suffers a ransomware attack, forcing diversions and effectively shutting down much of the hospital system. UMC reports the hacker may have taken certain files with patients' information. It's not disclosed whether it paid anything to the hacker, and a very similar situation plagues the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center. In October, a blue alert awakens the state of Texas. A Memphis police chief is shot serving a warrant, and the accused shooter, Seth Altman, goes on the run for a month before he's captured in Fort Worth. Richard Stewart is sworn in as the 11th Lubbock Fire Rescue Chief. In November, President Donald Trump wins a second term in office while Lubbock voters approve a new road bond proposal. Carrie Shaw unseats Democrat Gilbert Flores on the Commissioner's Court. Fox's Big Noon kickoff visits Jones AT&T Stadium for the matchup with Colorado. Cochran County says goodbye to its sheriff, Jorge de la Cruz, who died at just 52 years old. Frustrations over delays to construction on 19th Street boil over as business owners confront TxDOT with the impact it's had, even forcing some to close. A New Deal native is named director of the Department of Public Safety, Colonel Freeman Martin. In December, Judge Jim Hanson died shortly after leaving the bench for a battle with cancer. As Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, he was one of the longest-serving elected officials in Lubbock County. Lubbock ISD blames funding constraints for the need to close O.L. Slayton, Overton, and Hodges campuses and consolidate students. Representative Dade Phelan drops out of the race for another term as Speaker of the Texas State House, and South Plains Representative Dustin Burrows enters the race, challenging the GOP nominee. 29-year-old Samantha Aljuan is killed in a wrong-way crash, and the Plainview firefighter is laid to rest. As Texas Tech football makes changes to the offensive and defensive coordinator positions, they fall in the Liberty Bowl, capping off a year of challenge, but also triumph. It's life on the South Plains, and now we look to 2025 and more coverage you can count on.